Well, hello, you trader nerds. It is a tyrannical, is that the word I'm going to do? It's a terrific Thursday. Welcome in, 12:50 Eastern time. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful day. And the real traders never trade alone. They trade with their fellow nerds like Avi and Babe Ruthless and Chris and Daniel and David and DB and DMT and Don and Doran and Gary and G Tech Dad and Hal and Jason and John O and Matt Jollywally. Where's Hal at? Matt
Right here.
Jollywally. Oh, where's Hal? Okay. Mikey is here. Mo and Robert, Stefan, Stephen, Tyler, and Victor. Good to see all of you. Hope you all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And I am basically now spending my evenings thinking about what we're doing. And I think we're on a good path because a lot of people say, Bobby, the Black Swan event has already came and it was August 5th. That was not a Black Swan event. That was a 4% move down. That was not a Black Swan event. If one is coming, there's probably still opportune time for it to come, and we're preparing for such. Now, the more that this market goes up, the more that it believes that we indeed have a chance for that. But we've got a really nice move up today, 0.89%. Are you kidding me? VIX is at the lower handle of 15 now, and we've got a very strong AD of 310. And what we're doing is we're just coasting up, coasting up, coasting up. And now we're probably in that lunchtime chop. So VIX 15, market up. Everything looks really, really, really good. Let's look at the big green monster. Big green monster shows that, well, I'll be darned. Look where the tip was. And we would expect the 50% line to be a little bit of resistance as we pop up there. So we'll see if we keep popping up or not. Now, the thing is, once we hit this area, and if we stay around here for a little bit, then there's a good probability of us popping up to the 5717 before our next thing is hit. But we'll see if this serves as resistance for the day. Interesting when you draw these things, isn't it? That you see price, look, it just goes to the 50, it goes to the 50, it goes to the 50. So it's been there once, it's been there twice, it's been there three times, it's been there four times, and maybe the fourth time is the punch that will take through and weaken this area of resistance and will pop it forward. But interesting always to look at the big green monster. Now, if you want to know about the big green monster, I don't know how it works. I just know how to draw it. And this was done by a guy by the name of Blake Young, and we freely give him credit for it. If you were to go to Blake Young and say, hey, you're the inventor of the big green monster, he wouldn't know what you're talking about because he doesn't call it the big green monster. I forget what he calls it, but this is what we call it, the big green monster. And interesting that price just popped right there and popped right back down. So anyway, keep an eye on that. Let's look at the linear regression. Now, linear regression is, remember, we go from expansion, which had higher volume area, and then we've got a low volume period of contraction. And this thing will wind tighter and tighter and tighter until I think that we will break out of this zone and will continue to march forward up higher, which is the overall trend is higher, and we should go higher. So that's kind of what we're thinking. So let's see how our little account's doing today. It's not very exciting, I know, because we don't make these big sums of money that we used to make. And it's kind of like we are, instead of the Navy, I heard this in my research. I've heard this, instead of the Navy, we're not the United States Navy. We are pirates, and we are sitting there, and we're out in the ocean, and all of a sudden, one day we're going to take over this big ship, and we're going to collect all the booty and the bounty, so to speak. We are pirates. We are not the Navy. The Navy has daily gains. They do wonderful things on a daily basis, not us. We just sit back in the shadows, and then all of a sudden, when opportunity strikes and gives us an opportunity, we will collect the pot of gold. So that's what we're doing. And I am very comfortable in this little area that we are now because we're going to get back the losses that we made. I believe it so much. I really do. So let's see. We were at 75,977 today. We're probably down a little bit because we do have negative theta. We are at 75,956. 75,956. But I think it's important that we keep tracking this. It'd probably be easier not to track it and not to say, oh, we're down $543 since we started this on the 6th of August. But remember, we anticipate being down the $1,100 that we paid to start this hedge. So here we go, where Greeks and ratios are, let's see what we got here, -1, -18. -1. It's interesting we had negative Vega. -1, -18. What's up my thing here? Here we go. -1, -18. -18. And VIX is in the 15 handle. And I would imagine our buying power is very similar to what it was. Let's go to positions. Let's go to cap requirement. And yes, I agree with whatever you're saying there. And so my cap requirement is only, I'm going to use the bigger of the two. Initial requirement of this requirement is 990. So not a lot of cap requirement at all. All right, let's see how our hedges are looking today. Let's see what we've got. So if you're looking at our positions are, we've got a 12 and 20, and we've got a 3 and a 5. This is a, we need to call this BSH2, don't we? Let's group this. Let's call this BSH2. Let's group positions. We'll call it BSH2. Now, yesterday I thought about, okay, Mikey says negative theta because we are holding long positions that cost us money per day versus earning money per day. I expect you're exactly right. And so that's an expected thing, right? We know that's happening. Now, so it's not a surprise to us at all that our theta is negative. Now, the good thing is we're told that some of this theta in all these things are fake, so we wouldn't expect it to necessarily be $18 a day, but we'll see. That's why it's important for us to keep tracking this stuff. It's really important to keep tracking it. So let's see how our position. So we've got a 12 and 20, and we've got a 3 and a 5, and let's see how strong these things are today. Let's go to cap requirement again. Make this bigger, and make sure we select our ES positions. We'll go to risk analysis. And risk analysis, we change this from percent to points. And based on the last volatility crack, we move that up to 40. And so let's see, we've got 5 and 3 and 12 and 20. So we've got $21,000. I mean, I thought that was better than that yesterday. What's today? 829. Yeah, I thought we were doing much better than that yesterday. So anyway, if this gets too low though, I will put additional tranches on this thing, and I'll probably do it in a diagonal fashion. So right now, I'm just in a waiting pattern. We want to take these 12 off. When we take those 12 off, look what we're going to have, 52. And probably that working order, let's see what our working order is today. We've got a working order. Look at this. We're so close, y'all. 35 cents. When we're able to take off those 12, we are going to be golden because we've still got 50 days on those options. Look at this. Yeah, 50 days on that. So we're going to look really good. Now, when this happens, we'll probably sell, as long as we've got 45 days or more on this, we'll probably sell maybe 3 or 6. Let's see what we could do. Let's just look at it and let's see what we could do. Let's pretend that we're going to get rid of those 12. Okay. And let's see what we could do. We could go to ES and go to trade. And then we're going to go out, let's go about 90 days or so, 92 days. Let's see if we can find 50 wide strikes here for $3. Started to say we might be able to sell 6 or so. See, the problem is they're 100 wide strikes. So let's go down a little bit. 92. Let's go to 78. 78. Let's go to the $3 options. Here we go. So we could sell, now let's try to sell 3 of those, see what that looks like, 3. So let's go back to this and go add order legs. Now you see with the 12, we certainly couldn't sell 3. Everybody see that? Because now you don't have a hedge. And it would be a horrible thing to do all this work on hedging that we're doing and not have a hedge in place like I did last time. So let's take off those 12. Boom. You see that? You've got a nice little hedge even without those 12 with those three. And let's say that we did 6 of these, 4, 5, 6. You would definitely not sell 6. You definitely not sell 6 because you would not have a hedge in place. So this is what we got to do. This is what I failed to do the first time. That's what I failed to do. I didn't keep up with all of this. So now this is something that we got to do. Let's see. Mikey says, off topic, but perhaps someone else has already done the legwork. Any way to get more accurate accounting of the commissions and fees per tasty trade in the spreadsheet variable page before I take a crack at updating my personal copy? I expect the values in there are for reasons. Well, here's what I did. Let me show you what I did to my spreadsheet. I went to the variables page and basically found out how much it cost me to put something on. Now, remember, they don't charge fees to take something off. So what I did is basically took the average of the two, and I think it was $1.82 is what I came up for. So let's see, if I'm putting on a trade,
They have two different, on the futures, they have a different price for the opening and closing.
yeah. And I think what I did, Hal, is I took the average of the two. I think that's what I did. So it's just
Yeah,
the
but I think
closer.
the ES is like $3 and something cents
Mm-hmm.
for open and then like 83 cents to close or
Yeah,
something.
something like that. It's just they just charge you the fee, the exchange fee on the closing. So that's what I did. Is I just averaged the two of them.
I
And I,
modified the spreadsheet so I have an opening and closing and modified on all the formulas.
oh, that's cool. How much time did that take to do that?
Not long, but I also added like a whole bunch of other futures things in the drop down list. Like I've
Oh,
got oil and copper and Aussie dollar and stuff like that. So
look at you, Hal, programming the thing. That's good. I'm glad. Let's see what our screwdriver's looking like today. Probably similar to what it was yesterday, but it's something I think that we're going to keep a little bit more. Let's see, we don't have a 30-day one today, so we got 29 days. And it looks like the $5.20 is going for about $43. Let's see if we get a 5.2 there. 43, 43, 43. Yeah, we'll go 43. So let's put that in. And look what that looks like. So today's date is 8/29/24. And we said it's 43. So the screwdriver looks like it kind of did. And like I said, I went back and looked to see if we got any indication that we were going to have a drop here on August the 5th, and I couldn't really find anything that was different from where the figures are now. But it is interesting to keep up with the screwdriver. Tyler says, when running the BSH on ES, is span margin expansion still a concern, or not so much since we're not really running anything naked? Actually, the margin expansion works to our favor in this thing. That's what we really like about being on this side of the thing. Um, you know, it was kind of funny yesterday. I was sitting there thinking, man, I don't even have to worry about Nvidia earnings. And if they're terrible, it's kind of neat going, I don't think it's going to shake the market. And if it does, who cares? It was neat being in that side of the thing. But yeah, what the span margin does on this side is it makes us much more happy, right? If VIX goes up, this only helps us. So the volatility expansion just helps us the more that this thing goes up. But I think I like keeping that at about 35 or 40 on that 20% down to make sure that we're good. And so what we'll do is keep our GTC orders in. We'll see when that 12 comes off. Let's see. 0. Won't let me go to 0. But yeah, I think this is good. Is Schwaz in here? You made it right. Yeah, Schwaz is in here. Schwaz, you got time to do our little thing now? We're going to do our little back testing together. I'm going to let everybody go if you need to go, but we may do a little bit of back testing. Hal says you are running naked puts on the BSHs that have not purchased the loans. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And those can get out of hand. So sometimes, oh, he's on the board to call, so he can't talk. So I guess we won't be doing the back testing today. Okay, no worries. Everybody have a great day, and I will see everybody tomorrow. See y'all.